Thank you for joining Candid Conversations. My name is Muriel, and this is my sister Ruby. We're real sisters sharing real stories within our community. We have a great show in store for you this evening. Our topic tonight pertains to mental health. Did you know that this is Mental Health Awareness Month? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about understanding our emotional intelligence. We have a licensed mental health counselor that can shed more light and detail regarding all aspects of mental health.
We are so excited. We have our Haitian sister with us today. Thank you, Shelley, for being our guest.
It's my pleasure, my privilege. Hello.
You know how we feel about you. We have nothing
Welcome.
but the utmost respect for you.
Thank you so
that.
much.
Yes, and we're happy to have you here finally.
Amen. God is good. I'm here.
All the time.
I am here. Yes.
Can you please tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I'm Schellie FanFan. I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I'm originally from New York. Proud Haitian American woman. I moved here in 1988, and then after college, I went back to New York, and then I finally moved back in 2004, opened a practice in 2005, and I'm a mom of 2 beautiful children. I am an ordained minister, very involved in my community. I eat a lot.
It doesn't look like it.
I eat a lot. I love to dance, and I just love living in my purpose, and that's the best thing about it. Love living in my purpose, because when you're in your purpose, there's so much freedom and favor there. And
Awesome.
She's not only beautiful on the outside, she is so beautiful on the inside.
yes, as long as you don't have me in traffic,
Exactly.
keep me out of traffic,
you're
and
in
we're
Florida.
fine.
Tell us about your specific specialty and why you decided to go that route.
Well, it's interesting because I used to just declare that my specialty was self-esteem and motivation in women because of the clientele that God just seemed to continue to draw me close to, and I just started to master my skills when it comes to women's issues and overcoming and all of the things that come along with being a woman or just a human being in general, but specifically as it relates to high achieving women, depression, anxiety, stress management. But I have over 23 years of experience in an area called applied behavior analysis. And basically it's just a concept of how to modify behavior, how to extinguish junk behavior, maladaptive, that means dysfunctional behavior, replace it with healthy behaviors. And that came because when I first started in this field, I was working in a group home, a residential facility for children, adolescents, and adults with autism. And so I worked under the best of the best, people that are getting probably like $20,000 for a 50-minute appearance in a workshop. Yeah, and so I had the privilege of working and training under these individuals, and my business partner as well. And so I knew and was trained on the key concepts of behavior transformation. And so one of the things that I have found that it works so marvelous with is children with problem behavior. And so I developed a curriculum called Skilled Parenting 101,
Really?
teaching parents how to be effective. Because there's no such thing as good and bad parenting. It's either effective or ineffective, right? And so when it's effective, it's because it's skilled. So many times as parents, we're reacting to our children and not responding to our children. So I go around now the world teaching skilled parenting, and I did it for an organization called the National House of Hope, and now I'm one of their preferred keynote speakers, and they just send me out to different states teaching on how to overcome problem behavior, how to really build bonds with your children, how to really create attachment with your kids. So
We need this. A lot of times we don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's no book
Where'd you
on
get
it.
your parenting license from?
I know, right?
Where'd you get your parenting license from?
Once you give birth, you have to learn.
Man.
Play it by ear.
That's right. That's right.
How can you tell if somebody's crying out for help?
Wow. Well, it depends, Are you talking about children, adults, or just in general?
Well, in general, because it's all of us.
Yeah, well, it manifests itself differently. Just in general, that's so hard. With children, I feel that they their behavior, all of our behavior is language, but the adolescent behavior is very loud language, very loud language. And so when they are crying out for help, this is when they are the most offensive. This is when they have more frequent behavioral episodes. They appear angry. They appear disrespectful. They appear to be challenging to authority. All the things that cause us to shun them.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Who are they? They're bad kids.
Right.
They're disrespectful. They have oppositional defiant disorder, ADHD. They need to be in back of a bars. They need to be incarcerated. All the things that are cries for help, we punish. So in children that cry for help, we have to learn how to interpret behavior differently. In adults, wow, we tend to be very resilient as adults, and a lot of the time, we can't even see our own cry for help. I think on the inside, we have this energy that wants to be well. I think that, and that's the spirit in us, because God's spirit is in us, and I think that power desires to overcome. And so we don't even realize it sometimes. And how does it manifest when we need help, when our insides are crying for help? Your inability to not sleep through the night, these are things that people are like, oh, I just sleep that way. I just wake up multiple times a night. No, we should be having restful sleep. When you're irritable, when you're angry, when you feel lonely, when your moods are going up and down, when your eating habits have changed, when your interactions with people have changed, when you stop doing the things that you absolutely love. We say it all the time. I can't remember the last time I went to the beach. I love to knit, but I don't remember the last time I knitted. These are signs that something is wrong, because the things that we love to do is medicine to our soul.
It is therapy.
So when we stop doing those things that we love, when you stop roller skating, when you stop going dancing, whatever it is, then you are depriving your soul of that medicine that keeps it well. So, that cry for help, it could just look so different for everyone, but we have to, I think the biggest cry for help is isolation. And sometimes we don't even realize, like, when's the last time I saw Muriel? When's the last time I saw, I haven't seen such and such post on social media for a while. And sommes we think it, but it doesn't follow up with action. And that's the Holy Spirit saying, pick up the phone and call.
But we get so busy with our everyday lives that it's hard to sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
But let me ask you this question about the African American community. Why are we scared to talk about this? Why are we scared to talk about mental illnesses? Why? Why is it so hush-hush? What is the reason?
I think that our culture is one that vulnerability is not safe. And when vulnerability is not safe, then I have to wear the mask. And so judgment is something that is really huge. Judgment, or the fear of judgment, has caused people to take their own lives.
Oh, every day.
And this is why social media thrives right now, right?
Oh, yes.
They are thriving. Why? Because it gives us an opportunity to wear that mask to the world.
It's true. So nobody really knows the truth.
Absolutely.
It's like you don't know. It's all like a facade.
Absolutely.
What is really happening with that person? Who knows?
And I see it all the time. I'll see posts, especially for people that are, actively in treatment. And I'm like, wow, okay. Happy anniversary. Like, y'all, it wasn't happy anniversary last night when y'all were in my room and we were having arguing.
Now all of a sudden you're painting this beautiful picture like everything is perfect.
Oh, yes.
It's okay for it not to be perfect.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
And we just, we live in this culture where we just have to make it look like we have it all together. Got to drive a certain type of car, even though you're living in situations.
Paycheck to paycheck. But you might be living in your car.
Yeah. It's the upbringing, though, don't you think? It's your upbringing.
Yeah, just being image conscious. And it's really hurting people because there's nothing to be to be judged in that. Do I judge you for your headache? Do I judge you for your diagnosis of whatever? You know. But yeah, and so people are just fearful of that, and I think that there's shame and there's guilt. It's hard for people to come out and say this is what I'm thinking. I
Yes.
don't want to live. I fantasize about killing myself, or my marriage is breaking apart.
Right.
My husband hasn't touched me in weeks. And, you know, we have mastered the mask ministry, especially within the church.
Yes.
Oh, my.
And church is such a big part of our culture,
Yes.
and we learn to continue to hide
Absolutely.
and sleep even there.
Yes.
It's not even safe to be
Isn't that
completely
something?
vulnerable there.
Yes.
So what do you do?
Well, we have to
What do we do?
educate.
Yes.
How do you feel day in and day out of counseling people, providing,
Resources.
being that
and
outlet,
tools.
providing resources? How do you feel? How does Shelley
Is it
feel at
draining?
the end of the day?
Well, you know, people ask me that all the time, and I think with maturity, because I've been in this field for so long, that I have learned how to divorce myself.
Okay.
There was a time when I couldn't,
Of course.
and I would take that heaviness home.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, when I first got to Florida, while I was building my practice, because we started the business in 2005, but I fired my boss in 2010.
Yeah, okay.
So the first 5 years, I was working for a psychiatric facility in Kissimmee where we treated severe and persistent mentally ill. So these were individuals that were coming straight from the state hospital,
Okay.
people who were coming straight from being incarcerated for years,
Wow.
right? After committing serious crimes while insane. Right?
my goodness.
Well, not being well,
course,
psychiatrically decompensated. And so I work with people who killed family members as a result of being mentally ill. I treated a psychiatrist who drowned her twins because she believed that Jesus Christ was commanding her to do
do it,
so.
yes.
I dealt with a woman who, during her daughter's play date, had a psychotic break and went shooting and ended up paralyzing her own
severe.
daughter from the neck
Extreme
down
cases.
and killing her friends. And so, you know, it was heavy. And I had to learn how to disconnect. And I started doing it by going on my way home. I would stop at a gas station. I would go into the bathroom, and I would wash my hands and change my clothes.
Leave it there.
And then get in the car, and it was almost like this was a way for me to say, I'm in a different place now.
I like
and it
that.
started to help.
I like
And because I was doing it physically, it was almost like my emotions and my psyche
Right.
just went along with it.
Wow.
And that's how I just started to learn to
Okay.
divorce and understand that I cannot work harder towards someone's recovery than them.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
that's hard to
It's
get
true.
burnt out when
Right.
you're dealing with
Yeah.
substance abuse. But I do. I've learned
that.
to
That is nice.
just to leave it, do my best.
like
Yes.
Give
your
all
best.
I have
Yes.
in that moment, you know, and just be restful that I've done all that I could that day, and then the next day is a different day.
Start
I
all
also
over.
need builders.
Okay.
I need builders because we all, especially as high achieving women like you ladies as well, we love to help and we love to give, but those are withdrawals from our life account.
Absolutely.
They're withdrawals.
It is.
We love our children,
Yes.
but they're withdrawers.
Yes.
Right, it's true.
And so we're withdrawing. There's a $200 withdrawal, another $100
Yeah.
withdrawal.
It's true.
You stop in the store and pray for somebody,
Yeah.
another
Withdrawal,
30,
withdrawal.
withdrawal. So I have to be very, very intentional about aligning myself with builders.
There
Okay.
you go.
People who will offset those
like that.
withdrawals
You have to.
with those deposits.
Beautiful.
Balance it out.
Yes.
It
Who
has to
are
be.
your builders?
That's
Get
right.
your builders.
Come on,
because
builders.
Let's go.
you need, and so it really does help. And then, of course, making sure that I have a really powerful wellness plan
Okay.
in place to keep me well,
Yes.
because you cannot give what you do not have. That's why we have so many motivational speakers, but they're not transformational, because you can't give what you don't have. So when you're on the microphone,
right,
you
all
deliver
right.
a huge message.
Yes.
You got everybody up there pumped up, but nobody changes. Why? Because you're empty yourself. There is no way that you can change other lives if you're not full yourself.
Preach.
I love that. Yes. I love that.
Oh my gosh, that's the truth.
Yes,
It is the
it
truth.
is.
My goodness. Yeah, that hit me. That's strong. Shelley, what would you say is some of your greatest strengths as a therapist?
Prayer. Yeah.
You pray with your
Yes, I do.
clients?
Very
I do.
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm very careful about it because not everybody
everyone.
has similar beliefs,
True.
and you don't want to offend
Of course.
people.
Correct.
But I don't need you to know that I'm praying for you
Right.
to pray for you. You come in like, oh, I'm feeling better. I'm like, yeah, that was the fast from last week manifesting, right?
Yes.
But I think that's definitely, I think also, and that's more spiritual, something more practical, I believe that my ability to connect with people is
Okay.
definitely a strength, and that is it's a download from God. But just being able to connect with people, and I know that most psychotherapists will say that it's just a natural gift. People feel very comfortable sharing things that
Right.
they would not share with anyone
anyone
else.
else.
And don't think that because people are paying me doesn't mean that they have to open up. That's a
Right.
decision.
Yes.
Because we have people that come in, it's like, you're paying all this money and you're still wearing the mask?
Right.
Why
Come
waste
on.
your
Oh
money?
my gosh, yes.
Why waste your
Right.
money? But I find people like the other day I had a family counseling session and the parent said to me, I don't want you to drive all the way out here because my son is not going to speak with you.
Okay.
Don't want you to drive all the way out here. I said, it's okay, I'm
Yes.
going to do it. So I go from Kissimmee to Apopka. I'm on the way there. I really don't want you. I feel so bad.
Yes.
We'll pay you anyway. We
Yes.
don't want you to come all the way out here because he won't speak with you. I
He spoke
said,
to you
for like 2.5 hours.
Oh.
because you made him feel comfortable.
That's all
You
have to
connected
do.
with him.
Isn't that something?
You just have
Absolutely.
that. You have that not just because of your education, but you have that gift.
That's right.
So with the education and the gift combined,
right.
here you go.
There you go.
Thank you, God. Thank you,
Mhm.
Jesus,
That's
so good.
because people need that.
Yes.
I mean, it was to the point where he was like, "Can we go outside and talk one-on-one?" Yeah, it was so amazing. I was like, "I love this. I love what I do."
Well, thank God you
I
dropped
love what I
him.
do.
His mom was like, no, don't come.
They sat there. Mom and Dad were like,
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
"Yeah,"
I got this.
and it happens a lot over
Yeah.
children, adolescents, adults. So I would say that's the
Good.
strength.
I love that.
I like it too.
Yes.
Tell us the difference between a psychotherapist and a psychologist.
Okay. Well, the training.
Okay.
The training. Psychologists are considered doctors, and
Okay.
so their training is a little bit different.
Okay.
Psychotherapists, we do not prescribe medication. Psychologists don't either.
Okay.
Psychologists their main area of focus is testing,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Testing. So psychotherapists, we kind of do all of the above with the exception of prescribing medication.
Okay.
Now, a lot of psychotherapists are well versed in psychopharmacology, but we cannot provide any type of medical advice or write scripts or anything of that nature.
So for that, then they would just
For
go to their
medication
physician.
management, they would see a psychiatrist,
Okay,
right?
for that,
And there
okay.
are family physicians that prescribe that provide medications that are, we call it psychotropic medication.
Okay.
I don't know if that is the best case scenario. Like, would you go get your eyes checked from a dentist? Right? It's kind of like that, right? So, but we do. There are family physicians, general physicians that prescribe psychotropic medication.
Okay.
But generally, our recommendations for individuals to see psychiatrists who specialize in it. Psychologists, we would refer out to psychologists when we need some testing or diagnosing autism and things of that nature. Testing for a learning disability. These are just some examples of some of the things that psychologists specialize in.
Okay.
How do you feel about medication?
You know, when I first started, and I was so young and just like, I was so against it.
Yeah.
I was so against it, didn't think it was needed. And to a certain extent, I believe that it should not be the first
Right.
option.
Okay.
I think that we need to explore lesser restrictive
Exactly.
Okay.
alternatives and some good therapy, really work on, teaching coping mechanisms, educate the support system, and those types of things, those general psychotherapeutic interventions that I specialize in. However, I have found that for some people, it is needed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It is, and I think that if we continue to make it seem like, oh, medication is not needed, or
Right.
it's the devil,
Right.
or it has all these side effects. The Big Mac you eat has
Right.
side effects,
Yes.
but we're not talking about that, right? The vitamins that you get over the counter has side effects,
Yes.
and so we have to weigh the pros and the cons, okay? So the weight gain is a side effect. Do you want the weight gain, or do you want these suicidal thoughts that are commanding you to go into hospitals and post offices and blow it up?
Yes. Isn't that something?
Hello?
Yes.
Which one? Do you, is it making your teeth yellow, or would you prefer to deal with the 1,000 of voices that you hear as auditory hallucinations all day, every day?
Yes.
And so I don't think that we should just rely on medication.
Okay.
I think it's important to rely on medication and prayer, standing in faith,
Yes.
getting therapy. I think that we can make services inclusive and holistic
Yes.
to get people to a place of healing.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yes. Bring it all together.
As you say all of this, you are just so well versed.
Mm-hmm.
And you have so much knowledge. You really do.
Praise
I just
God.
love to hear. I love when Shelley speaks.
Yes, me too. I get
And
chills.
that's one of the reasons why I love Ask Shelley.
Oh,
Tell us about Ask Shelley. Tell the viewers about Ask Shelley.
and that's still developing. It was me running from purpose. We all do it. But, Ask Shelley Consulting is it's an emotional intelligence firm. And what I do is provide training to corporations, large businesses, small businesses, ministries, families, and individuals. And I use psychoeducation to help people enhance their emotional intelligence quotient to get them to the next level. So from a business perspective, it's helping businesses get to a place where they are using the knowledge of how humans respond, right? Why humans think the way that they think, why they behave the way that they behave, how do they decide the way that they decide, how do we get people motivated, how do we operate or implement strength-based, systems in our workplaces so that people are not using the time that you're paying them to overcome weaknesses, but they're thriving in their strengths. And how do you place that? How do you empower your leaders? And so I did that under my practice just by mistake.
Right.
It started out with us being asked to go to an organization in New York to do a conflict resolution, a boot camp on conflict resolution. So it was an organization that they were, killing each other, fighting in meetings and stuff like that. They were like, we needed intervention. They heard about me, my business partner and I went, and we did it. And so it went from that to that person referred, and then referred, and then referred. And here I was loving this new thing of just, at that time, just training, and helping people to understand humans, human behavior, the human mind, the value in human interactions. How do you seal the deal?
Right.
How do you get someone to say, I'll buy that product? It's all psychology, right?
Yes.
And so that is what Ask Shelley is all about, helping people to understand that so they could push their cause forward as business owners.
You know what I want you to tell us about? CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So CBT is a theoretical perspective. It's because every therapist has different modalities that they adopt. CBT is specifically about teaching people their thinking errors. Okay, we call it stinking thinking, and then help them to be aware of when it's happening, and then teach them how to reframe it. Because that's what cognitive behavior is. So there are people who are victimized thinkers, and so they always seem to think that everyone is plotting against them. When you talk to them, they have, this relationship went bad, this interaction went bad, I got fired because of this, and then it's like the common denominator is you.
Exactly.
And so that victimized, people who are black and white thinkers, there's no in between. You either do it this way or that way. There's so many different thinking errors out there. So teaching people their thinking errors, that automatic thinking that they don't even know that's going on, that drives their decisions, right? And so this is basically what cognitive behavior therapy is. Let's identify the stinking thinking. Let's identify what triggers that thinking. How can you bring it to your awareness? Because change doesn't happen outside of a state of awareness. And then now we're going to teach you how to reframe it.
Yes.
That's CBT.
I'm going to ask another question. So how do you feel about therapy, though? For people, do you feel people need therapy? Should they go holistic way? What should they do?
I do. I think that therapy is a great tool to get to breakthrough.
Of course.
Absolutely. To get to breakthrough, to maintain your wellness,
Yeah.
because it's not only when things are breaking down.
There you go.
You can do it as a preventive measure.
There you go. Yes.
Right? Just a tune-up. And I have clients
that.
that come in just for a tune-up.
Yes, it's
And
necessary.
so, you know, that's what it's about. And I
Yes.
think that it's a very healthy tool. We all need it. And it doesn't have to be something that's extremely intense.
Right.
It could be just general talk therapy that you're coming in just to make sure that you have an opportunity in a safe space,
Right.
a non-judgmental
There you
space
go.
to just release.
But why are people scared of it, though?
Vulnerability.
Well,
Vulnerability.
it's
So
true.
many people
Yeah.
have learned somehow that it's not safe to be vulnerable, and also the stigma behind
There
it.
you
You
go.
know,
Yes.
I think now we're coming out of that. The
getting-
narrative is changing. It's kind of flashy to say, "Oh, I just came out
Yes.
from seeing my
Yes.
therapist," you know, and so now it's starting to my life coach or
Yes.
whatever it is,
Right.
right? So the narrative is changing, and I think that's a great
Yes,
thing.
wonderful.
so, too.
That's a
Me
great
too.
thing.
Yeah.
I like
and,
that.
and because we have no choice.
No.
It's in our faces.
here.
Yes.
These stars that are killing themselves,
Yes.
hanging themselves. And,
Pastors,
oh my,
kids.
Oh, my goodness.
it's in our face.
Yes.
We can no
Longer.
longer sweep it
We
under
can't.
the
The
rug.
rug.
We just can't. It's all in our faces
to
now.
talk
And
about
so
it.
I think the narrative has changed as a
Yeah.
result of that.
Right.
Thank God.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why we have this show.
Absolutely.
Because we want to talk about it. We want people to know, don't be scared, don't be ashamed. Talk about it.
Right.
There are people out here that can help.
Absolutely.
That
And
can
I
help.
think the more people talk about it, because I think we need to see beautiful, put together. Because when we think of mental illness,
Of course.
I always use this as an example.
Yes.
We think of the guy in the parking lot at
Right.
7-Eleven
Yeah.
talking to himself
Yes.
and wiggling his fingers.
No.
And, no, it looks like
Right.
us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And mental illness is on a spectrum.
Yes.
So it could be your mood instability, you claim that it's PMS,
Right.
your monthly, anger outbursts.
Right.
No, this
No.
is all emotional.
Right.
It's all part of this spectrum from from total health, emotional disturbance, minor to moderate, and then all the way to dysfunctional mental illness. We all fall somewhere on that spectrum. So
Absolutely.
let's just be real about
Right.
it.
Let's just talk about it. Let's just have a candid conversation.
Yes, yes.
about that?
For people to come and say, yes,
right.
I'm an attorney.
Yes.
I own this private practice.
Right.
And I am bipolar.
Yes.
Now
Absolutely.
what?
Now what?
And I take medication. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we need more of that.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
And that's why I love when Mariah did it. Mariah
yes.
Carey, when she came out, was like, I'm bipolar.
Yes.
And I'm still living my life.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
still living my life. You know, we can talk about this. We can talk about this. This could be a 2, 3, maybe a day show.
I know.
Just talking about it.
I talk a lot.
We all do. But we cannot let this show end without talking about. We're gonna get information from Shelley as to how you can contact her. But we also want to let you viewers know that Shelley also sits with us on the board, the Greater Haitian American Board of Directors.
Yes.
So we're gonna have her say a few words.
So we all sit as members of the Executive Committee and Board of Directors for the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, and we have the privilege of partnering with Haitian and Haitian American owned business within this community, enhancing their profile, because we just believe that we are a force to be reckoned with. So we want to empower those businesses. We want to teach them the skills, help them to take their businesses to a whole nother level. We have a soiree where we are celebrating
Yes.
our businesses, our culture, who we are,
That's right.
the
Yes.
things that make us, it makes us stand apart,
Right.
celebrating our nation and the
Yes.
restoration
Yes.
Right.
of our nation
Yes.
that we're believing for. And that is going to be on November 16th,
Yes.
November 16th at the Rosen. So you got to follow up. What's our
Yes.
website? GAC.org. www.gacc.org. Get your tickets. I think we are almost
We're almost at-
sold
Get your ticket.
out.
Get your ticket.
It's not even November yet. And so we're super excited about what God is doing in our community. And so we want you to come out and celebrate with us at the soiree.
Yes.
Ooh, I can't wait.
We'll be there. Come on.
Yes.
We'll be there.
Yes. Listen, tell us about your tagline, Live in Your Smile. I just love that.
Oh, we're going to be here another 3 hours. Another 3 hours. Okay, I'll shorten it. One day I'm praying, I'm broken, I'm angry. I'm like, God, I've served, I've sacrificed, I've fasted.
Yes.
You know, I raised up my kids in you.
Yes.
I've been speaking the word over my situation, and I'm still broke. I'm still being betrayed. People are still talking about me. I need you to transition me out of this season. And God said in a still small voice, I'm going to teach you to smile in the storm.
Yes.
And you would think that that made me get up and
Yes.
praise, but I was like, so that means that I'm going to still be here?
Right.
It was, God wanted to do something with me in that place. He wanted to build me in that broken place. He wanted to teach me joy
In that.
place. Because God is not a God of premature births. He just isn't. And so I got up and I was so upset, and I knew that God needed me to find joy at rock bottom, because if I could find it at rock bottom,
You'll find
nobody can take it from
That's
me.
right. That's right.
No one. And so today, after going through that, I can live in my smile.
There you go.
I could live in
Beautiful.
it. Because I learned how to just put it all together. Hi, Minister Shelley. I'm too blessed to be stressed and all that other stuff. And I was broken. And ministering.
Yes. Isn't that something?
Broken and ministering. Broken and serving. And it feels good. Am I all the way there? Absolutely not.
It's okay.
Absolutely not. But I can still live in my
your
smile.
smile.
It's a choice.
Yes.
So that's what
I
it's
like
about.
that. And that's
How'd
what
you
we
know
do.
about that? Y'all been stalking me.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Shelley, we're going to leave in a second, but tell us what you do to have a great time. What do you do to decompress?
Guio.
Tell the people what that is.
That's fried pork chops. I know it's horrible.
Crispy on the outside and moist on the inside.
With some white rice
Yes.
and black bean sauce. We call it
Sauce pois.
Sauce
If you haven't
pois.
had that sauce pois, you're missing out. And the pickles, you gotta top it off.
Yes, and I will eat the out of a hot pepper. So I do. It's not emotional eating, though.
Yes.
It's not. I love to eat. I love to cook for people that I love. And I love to dance. I don't do it
Yes.
much anymore. That's horrible. I'm trying
Let's
to
go.
get my
Let's
schedule
Let's
right
get
and
out.
do that.
Let's
Well,
Yes.
November the 16th.
Woo,
There you go.
yes, yes. I'm looking forward to that, because we're going to have an amazing band
Yes.
Yes.
and DJ. So, yes, I'll be dancing on the 16th. But I do. I love to dance. And
Good.
I have amazing kids that are
beautiful.
extremely
Yes,
funny.
yes.
They like, I'm not just saying that because I'm mom. Like, they are really funny.
Yes.
And they keep me smiling.
That's
and
good.
I'm very close to my parents, too. And
That's awesome.
so,
Close-knit family.
yeah. Thank God.
Yes,
Thank God.
yes.
So,
Yeah, we love that. Tell the viewers how they can contact you.
www.askshelley.com. My Haitian parents were so creative in spelling Shelley. It's Schellie. www.askshelley.com. You can also follow my page on Facebook, Schellie FanFan Sissoko. You could also find me on Instagram at Ask Shelley as well.
Shelley, we thank you so much for being here with us
Yes.
tonight. You gave
We
us
enjoyed
a
you.
whole plethora of information here. I'm sure it's going to help the audience.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we hope to see you back soon.
I will be back. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We want to thank you all again for joining us tonight. Please tune in next Tuesday at 6 p.m. for a discussion from another great guest right here from our community. In closing, mental illness does not discriminate. It does not care who you are, what title you hold, etc. When we talk about our feelings, they become less overwhelming. Let's continue to end the stigma by talking about it. For those of you that are suffering in silence, instead of saying, I'm damaged, I'm broken, say, I'm healing, I'm rediscovering myself. I'm starting over. You must learn a new way to think before you can master a new way to be. Thank you for tuning in to another Candid Conversation.
Thank you.